Zero news on the rise, bringing wrestling to our eyes. WWE, AW in the spotlight, never telling us a lie. Accurate in every report, fans cheering in delight. Zero news, our guiding light in the wrestling fight. Covering the ring with precision, no indecision. Zero news, our source of truth, bringing wrestling updates, never uncouth. In the world of WWE and AEW, Zero News shines through.
Yes, sir. Hello, as Final Boss would say, obviously. Welcome to the EVP Xero Show. Welcome to another week here. Thank you for all tuning in. I can see we've already got comments flying on in, and we will get to them in a bit. So this is Zero as normal, and obviously I'm joined by the EVP CJP this week. How are you this week?
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP CJP from the Main Event Network and the Main Event Show and Main Event Mondays and the EVP Xero Show. I think this is episode 5.
I think we are on episode 5 now. I'm losing track. It's
I think it's 4 or 5. I can't remember, but glad to be here. So comments are starting to fly in. So looking for another good night.
Yeah. So tonight, I'm going to try and we might need to change the show around a little bit tonight from the normal format because we've had a lot of news come down. So obviously it's going to be a lot of talking about a lot of news. We're going to then try and quickly run through the Saturday night main event plans. And I did say earlier on that I would answer a few questions that have been left in the Discord that I haven't got around to answering. So I want to try and get that done tonight. And obviously we're on a 1 hour time limit because that's what we normally stick to. So let's try and quickly go through this. So if anyone does actually have any questions, please start asking them now in the comments and I will try and get to them. I can't guarantee that we will get all the questions answered due to the amount of stuff that we need to talk about. But we will try and get you involved as much as physically possible. So first of all, the biggest news that's come down this week is about the WWE and TNA Wrestling partnership. So WWE and TNA Wrestling announced a multi-year partnership aimed at creating unprecedented crossover opportunities within TNA and NXT. So, I think it's about 5 years or something. Deals for it's 3 years or 5 years. Obviously, TNA stars on NXT stars on TNA. And we've already obviously started seeing that happening with Cora Jade showing up and challenging Masha this past weekend. And obviously, we've had a lot of other ones, like I believe tonight on TNA, we have the Rascals versus Fraxium as well. That's going to be, it's going to be good. I think this partnership's going to be really good for him. I don't know, kind of like what what your thoughts are on it, because I know you don't normally watch TNA, do you, or anything like that? Really?
I watch it a little bit, but I think it's a great move because there's a lot of matchups that can happen with the interpromotional type things. Obviously, Joe Henry's the world heavyweight champion, and he's already calling out John Cena. So, you're going to get to see matches you've never seen before. So, it's another nail in the coffin for AEW, in my opinion.
It's obviously, it helps now as well that this past weekend as well that Joe Hendry won the TNA Championship off of Nick Nemeth. Obviously, if people don't know, that's obviously Dolph Ziggler. And yes, so he's now the TNA champion. So it could be quite interesting where obviously at this moment in time, John Cena has not planned to win the number 17 in WWE, but they never said anything about TNA. And we were talking about this just before we came on air is, you know, Joe Hendry has challenged Cena for it. Now, what's to say that Cena doesn't do the impossible and win that TNA championship? Obviously, that's just me saying that. I have no source on that. You know, I have no information on that one. I'm literally just saying, you know, you even to said, could it happen?
Yeah.
It's a possibility. You know, everything is a possibility now with this TNA thing, and, you know, it could be done. But from my understanding, the TNA WWE thing is NXT wise. So obviously, so they can be calling out for all these dream matches, but you know, it's NXT stars and TNA stars for it. You know, that's that one there. Just talking about Joe Hendry, whilst we're on that subject, is Joe Hendry himself has actually confirmed that he is in Indianapolis on the day of the Royal Rumble because he's at WrestleCon doing a few bits and pieces. Now, that finishes a couple of hours, I do believe, before the Royal Rumble. So he's going to be in the area. You know, he, from my understanding, he is meant to be in the actual Royal Rumble match himself. So all I'm going to say is get ready to believe as soon as his music comes on. You know, and I was saying to a couple of others earlier as well, is that basically that place is going to erupt as soon as you say his name and he appears in Indianapolis. That place is going to literally just erupt. And that, like, because don't forget, the last time we sort of heard it in WWE was for an NXT crowd. You know, he's never had a main roster crowd with his music hitting. So, main roster crowd, you're looking, I don't know how many he's going to be there. It's probably going to be 30K or whatever it is. You know, his music hitting for that will be, you know, that place is going to be, that's going to be a bigger pop than Edge, I reckon, from when Edge came back. I reckon it's going to be about that roughly.
Yeah, I think for him, like you said, the pop's gonna be huge. But if I was doing it, I would have him come out like 1 or 2, just because I think that's where he would get the biggest pop. Obviously, you know, they play their music for all of them, but have him like open like at in the 1 or 2 spot, and like
so he can then do his full entrance and that where he does like the waving and everything like that. So I mean, that's that sort of comes out there. That would actually. I didn't think about that one. That would actually be pretty good. So let's just check the comments quickly before we go on. So I'm going to get a few bits and pieces done as we go along. So there's a rumor that WWE basically in TNA. No, even though it's come down, it's still in the works. They cannot do it at the moment because there was a ruling in the early part of last year which prevents a monopoly. So it basically prevents like AEW owning every single company under the sun or WWE owning every single company underneath the sun. So they can do a partnership with it all. And like what they've done. But for the minute, they cannot outright own it. Now, I've seen who posted that rumor, and that was Dave Meltzer. So that's your answer there to how legit that actually is. So no, for now, I mean, it could happen soon. It depends when we can get lifted up. It depends when we can get lifted. But at this moment in time, it's not happening. Basically, that's the thing. But no. So that's not happening. No, WWE is not buying TNA at this present moment in time. That's that. Right. So let's just see if there's anything else on these subjects. No, there is not at the moment. I'll get to the other ones later on. Right, so moving on then, whilst you've obviously already mentioned it sort of kind of, AEW and a couple of things this week. So Tony Khan has yet again been refusing releases. This time, I do believe it's the news that's come out is this time it is Ricky Starks again. You know, he's been refused his release yet again for it. You know, it's getting ridiculous now. He's basically turned into Vince 2.0, as we'd call it. And yeah, there's been a lot of like, that's what it is. TJ Tamana said, so why did you post Vincent Kennedy McMahon's face? Why did you post Vincent Kennedy's face on Tony Khan's head? because I'm just getting to this bit. Basically, he's turned into the new Vince because he turned around and basically said that he would never stop releases. He sees them all as friends. If they wanted to go, they would go and stuff like that. So, but he's turned into Vince 2.0. He's demanding, he's stopping them from doing shows and stuff like that. So it's like Ricky's been banned from doing GCW shows, and a couple of other stars as well have been pulled from like independent shows and stuff like that. Really, so so that's kind of that at the moment. What do you think on this whole situation with with Tony Khan refusing releases and doing what he's doing basically, and like I said, being Vince 2.0?
I mean, it kind of goes back to when Punk was there. I mean, Punk told him, he didn't want to be there. Tony Khan basically said, all right, well, what is it going to take for you to stay? And then obviously, he gave him what he gave him. Punk basically had to force the hand of Tony Khan to let him go. And I feel like he's so afraid of these people running out to WWE that he's just going to hold them hostage until their contract's up, and then after that, then there's not much he can really do at that point.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is just me joking around, but it could also be serious as well. That if you are obviously listening, because I don't know who is obviously listening to this at the moment, but Ricky, if you want to get out, go backstage and punch Jungle Boy up again, right in front, like what CM Punk did, basically. Use a bit of real glass, and that'll get you out of your contract, because Tony will feel scared for his life again and release you. So, just go backstage and just punch up Jungle Boy or something like that, basically. That's going to be the easiest way to get out of your contract, really. I know that's probably pretty bad to say, but it's probably that's going to be the only way there. Now, one of the other interesting things that we need to bring up is Britt Baker. She's been in the news this week quite a lot. I don't know where this originated from, but it came down to say that she was cheating on Adam Cole or whatever throughout their time when they were together. Now, Britt actually put this response out on Twitter this week. She told me, well, today it was, I understand we as performers are expected to have thick skin through opinions and lies we read about ourselves, but spreading lies about my personal life is just low, weird, and something I won't tolerate. I've never cheated on anyone in my life. Tell your source. Now, this is obviously something that is quite a touchy subject, so I don't really want to go into it too much, but it, like I said, I don't know where it's come from. I don't kind of know like where, sort of who started it off. If anyone can fill that in for me or whatever in the comments, and that's fine, because to be fair, I didn't really pay attention to who started off that news. But there was something gone around ages ago about it and stuff. So it's not new at all. This is not new at all. But I will say today that WrestleVotes has come out and stated that with all this news about Britt Baker coming out in the news and stuff recently, is WWE sources were asked if they would consider having Britt Baker in WWE, and they instantly turned around and jumped to it and turned around and said, yes, we would. Now, they don't know, they're not expecting her to be free anytime soon, but WWE seem like they are very, very interested in bringing in Britt Baker. That's come down from WrestleVotes. Would you like to see Britt in WWE? Do you reckon she might improve or something, or do you reckon she's not worth coming over, or what, really?
I mean, I think anybody needs a fresh start, and with the things she's been going through, this has been going on for a while. The cheating rumors on with Adam Cole. Obviously, isn't she dating somebody from WWE now? I think. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
But at the end of the day, like people, the IWC is just so toxic, and they just latch on to any type of rumor, and it's pitiful for these female and male wrestlers, because they can't have a personal life because it's going to get just blasted all over the internet. So, but yeah, I like to see.
Yeah, I kind of agree that they shouldn't have done it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I reckon she might be all right and stuff. Like, maybe she does need that environment away from AEW, and she might obviously be, yeah. So from there, that's all I'm thinking. That's I don't know. I think she needs to get out of AEW and sort of come over and that. And if WWE are obviously willing to take her, then that to me is sort of like go that way. And I can see in the comments, Monty Simone says she needs to head to NXT and improve. So yeah, she does basically.
Yeah, I mean she's not like
TJ go to TNA. Yeah,
she's not like a world like she's not somebody that like a Tiffany Stratton that you can just pop in there and put a title on her. But like Monty said, she could develop through NXT and be someone that can compete with like for the IC or the women's US title, stuff like that, mid card. I think everybody can, once they reach their max at a company, and if they're not going to get to that next level, then yeah, a fresh start's good for anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's obviously that. I will just check the comments and just see if anyone else has said anything before we do move on. So,
I see Michael Gillis is in here.
Yeah, I can see him. Yeah, hello, Michael. So, Breaker is a star, Utah. I didn't say she wasn't a star. I'm saying that basically, yeah, she needs to come over to WWE, and stuff like that. And that's WWE want to have her. She can go on to that. Yes, that's that one. Yes, so moving on then. So there's also come down from WrestleVotes today is they are looking to bring back Nikki Bella. And it's probably going to be sooner rather than later. I can see that happening. Like she was at the Monday Night Raw thing, wasn't she, and stuff like that. And yeah, so I mean, it's a possibility. It's a massive, massive possibility that that she shows up in the Royal Rumble. That's my thoughts. Is that's when she's going to show up at is Rumble. Her music will hit, and that's when they'll come out. That's
yeah. Thoughts. I'm actually obviously I cover it on your website, but she's actually on the U.S. Traders season 3, and she I've actually seen her during the episode. She was having a conversation with someone about how she missed the competition, and somebody asked her if she thought she would ever come back, and she said never say never. So like, yeah, I mean, I'd love to see her back. I mean, she's somebody else that could be go if she stays long term could fit in with like a Roxanne or like the IC with Lyra or Chelsea Green or something like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anyone wants to obviously comment or anything like that on it. I mean, let's have a look. Has anyone said that? TJ's Timon said Nikki Bella versus Roxanne Perez at Mania. You never know. It could happen. But yeah, so it's probably going to be Bailey and stuff because that's what they're leading to. So, but yeah, no. So that's where it seems to be going at this moment in time. But yeah, so Moni, she can get a mid-card title. Yeah, basically, yeah. There's plenty of mid-card titles and stuff like that now, so that's a possibility there as well.
What's funny, Zero, is I was just telling my buddy this earlier. Nikki Bella is now wanting to come back to WWE. Guess who's having his retirement tour? John Cena, her ex.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Yeah. I mean, he's married and all that. I get all that, but it's just funny, like the funny timing of him he's having his retirement tour, but she's supposed to come back, and they were together forever. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, you never know. There's I don't think obviously nothing's going to happen with them, but it's going to that's quite funny that they could end up being sort of at the same show and that together and stuff like that. So yeah, that could be quite. I don't think it's going to be awkward because I think they're left on good terms in that. But obviously I'm not 100% sure with that one. But yes, that's that one. So Nikki Bella is coming back soon. Yeah, Monty said, yeah, what a coincidence. Yeah, it is quite a lot of coincidence there as well. So one of the other talking points as well that I do believe we need to talk about before we get into the big stuff is Mania ticket prices. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. They are ridiculous now. Like, I can't fully remember sort of like what it is now. Let me just try and see if I can pull it up on my phone whilst we're doing this. There we go. So The cheapest ticket for WrestleMania 41, which is single tickets, and that's up in the nosebleed, is $700. That is,
gosh.
and that's up in the nosebleed. Whereas the most expensive tickets being ringside is 15 grand.
Wow.
So yeah, $15,000 from ringside, basically for WrestleMania 41. Now, this ties into something. You got to think WWE are charging that price. I understand, yes, it's Vegas and stuff like that, and like they're doing it sort of there, but you know, it's you don't charge that money if you haven't got your big stars there. Now, I understand, obviously, you're going to have Cena and stuff like that, but this is where it comes from. That you know, if you're charging people 15K and they're going there like expecting a big show, you're going to have your likes of Dwayne Johnson there. You're going to have other big names like, you know, Taker and stuff like that, even though he's retired and stuff. And I know people have turned around and said, oh, but he's not working because he's got reshoots and stuff like that. Now, I actually covered this earlier, is the reshoots are, yes, a possibility. But what we've got to bear in mind is LA has just faced one of the worst fires in years, and the Hollywood studios and Hollywood, as even someone has said, they are shut for the foreseeable future. There is nothing going on. They're cancelling shows left, right, and center because props have been destroyed, sets have been destroyed, costumes have been destroyed, everything basically. You know, scripts and that have been destroyed and everything as well. So any filming stuff is going to be on hold. There is nothing being filmed at the moment, and I was saying this earlier on, is I don't know whether you watch it, but there's a show which is quite a big one. They were actually meant to be starting filming off for that Fallout series, Series 2. You know, quite a big show, which is obviously coming out for Amazon and stuff. And because of the fires, it's on hold indefinitely. They basically turned around and said, for now, the filming has stopped, and it will be stopped until further notice. You know, that's the thing. So yeah, until they can rebuild the sets, until they can get the costumes back, you know, and stuff like that, because a lot of it's been destroyed. So all these rumors of, oh, there's reshoots or he's filming Fast and Furious or whatever at the time. I'm going to say this on the stream, and I do apologize now. Bullshit. Hollywood themselves have turned around and said they are shut. You know, nothing's happening there. They've shut the Hollywood studios. They've shut everything down until they can rebuild. And there's still some fires going on at the moment, I do believe. And you know, they keep having weather warnings and stuff there. So it's going to be no time soon. I can see potentially a lot of stuff is going to be on hold until after summer, maybe even into next year for it. And that's obviously because of these wildfires that have gone on. So, you know, it's stupid. So if anyone wants to turn around and keep saying Dwayne's recording stuff, or, you know, he's going to be recording Fast and Furious, whatever number it is now, he's not, because Hollywood's shut. You know, that's the thing. You know, it's stupid.
It's so crazy because I'm in a chat. It's actually the first chat I ever got in when I joined Twitter. It's a Twitter wrestling chat, and there's this guy in there that supposedly knows all these people that worked on the movie set of Moana, and he's like, I told him Rock's gonna be at Mania. You know, like I think he's fighting Cody. And he's like, oh, well, you know, he's got a reshoot. And I was like, well, you know, they are shut down because of the fires, for one. Yeah. And for two, like, that movie is not till next July. So, like, he's got plenty of time to reshoot. So these people with this Cody Cena thing, just it's getting old. It's like annoying.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if they decide to reopen Hollywood before Mania, then possibly he might do that. But at this moment in time, The Rock is still due for WrestleMania. You know, I asked the other day and I was told The Rock is still due in for WrestleMania. And it's all these reports and that coming out at the moment of he's not going to be there is the biggest smokescreen that you've ever experienced. You know, they want to make it as a surprise. So when he does show up, nobody's going to suspect it and that. And you know, the thing that this is the other thing as well that people aren't realizing as well is they've turned around and stated. Well, I've seen a lot of people turn around and say, "Oh, you know, if Rock's working it, it's definitely going to be Rock Roman at WrestleMania." Cody himself has confirmed that he will be at night 2 WrestleMania defending his title. He said that several times because he's turned around and said, we are building the biggest WrestleMania match ever, something that you will not expect, and that, and it will be the biggest thing that I've ever done. So that basically himself confirms that he is going into WrestleMania as champion, which is what that one is. Now, obviously, there was originally rumors of Rock, Roman, and Cody in that match, but obviously they pulled Roman from it. But no, at this present moment in time, it is still Cody Rock at WrestleMania, from my understanding, and from a few other people's understanding as well. If it's wrong, it's wrong, and I'll take it from there. But at this time, it is still that. Now, whilst we're on the as Molly's said as well, just before I move on, then is they keep dropping hints. He's come in, he hugged Cody's first target number 1. And stuff like that, which is true. And then he hugged Roman afterwards, which is target number 2, basically. That's the thing. So whilst we're on the subject of all the bloodline stuff, some news has come down today again from WrestleVotes, which is WWE is moving away from Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa being known as the new bloodline on TV. Now that Roman Reigns is once again the tribal chief. Now, that obviously means then, and this is obviously part of the storyline that I've been saying for a while for the bloodline, is they're all going to join back up again. He's basically, I hate to say this, but this is part of the bit where I said there's going to be tears, there's going to be, upset and stuff like that for the Bloodline fans. Now, Bloodline 2.0 will not be staying together for much longer.
Yeah.
Some of them, as you can already see, they've already got Braun versus
Jacob,
isn't it? Yeah. This weekend coming up on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's to start off with the singles pushes that the majority of them are going to be having. Now, the thing they obviously haven't covered is what's going on with Solo, and the main thing that's going to be happening with Solo is he will be joining back up with Roman to start off another storyline. But what I am hearing at the moment, and what a couple of other people are hearing at the moment, is that planned Roman Solo match at WrestleMania could still be happening, due to they might obviously make it Roman Solo, and if Solo loses, he has to join Roman and the face bloodline. So we'll be seeing a face Solo Sikoa again very soon. That's obviously unless they have Roman take the Elder, so they can then continue on. So that's that one there. What's your thoughts, obviously, then on them? Obviously, then moving away from being called the new bloodline and then taking away the bloodline name and potentially doing that, and that's the thing.
I talked about this Monday on Main Event Monday. And I'm a bloodline guy. I have a closet full of their stuff. I have a shirt on right now. But at the end of the day, you got all these bloodline fans that want everything just right now. Roman's got to win every single match. And with them changing the card for the first Netflix and having Roman win there, it completely changed and the spectrum of what this bloodline story could possibly look like. For me, it's not clicking on the same type of cinema cylinders as it always has. And so, I mean, Jacob's a big star. They're gonna put a rocket ship on him. I just don't know where they go with Tama and Tonga Loa and Solo, because Solo's already been pinned 3 times by Roman. So, like, if they do it at Mania again, like, is Solo going to eat another pin? So, like, Triple H with all this changing crap is, let's get him out of here, because he has no clue what he's talking about.
You see what I've done there, then, yeah.
Yeah. He's in here talking about Cena and Cody. Like, we don't want to listen to all that.
Carry on,
he's like, oh yeah, they're filming in March in Hawaii. Like, he's a movie producer. But I just, like you said, and I've said on my spaces, like, Roman is not the same Roman. Like, he's gonna have to take some losses, and people are just either gonna have to accept it and still watch the product, or just don't watch the product at all. And I think because Triple H made all them changes, now he backed himself into a corner because, in my opinion, I still believe Solo is buried.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is where they completely changed it around for that Raw and WrestleMania, it's screwed a lot of things over. I do have to say, it's screwed a lot of things over. And that due to that uncanon, that non-canon show which we had on the first Raw on Netflix, just to please TKO and everyone like that, really. It's ridiculous, and that's so. For it, but and I keep saying this as well, and people do need to start understanding this, is obviously, and CJ has covered this already, is Roman will be taking losses. Roman has to eat a few pins and stuff. He's not the same Roman Reigns as when he was, the heel tribal chief. He's now a face. Faces take losses, and quite a few of them. And I know, as part of the plans, he will be taking a lot of losses, and that, to build the story. And it's going to annoy people. It's going to annoy Roman fans, because they're going to be like, but it makes no sense to why Roman's taking it. Roman should be getting built up to be this super face and everything like that again. He's the face of the company and stuff like that. But it hits. He's going to be taking a lot of L's and a lot of a lot of losses there.
He's not winning the Royal Rumble, that's for sure. There's no way.
He's definitely not. No, he's definitely not winning the Royal Rumble and stuff. And the thing is, as well, is he has some kind of say in his storyline, but this is the thing: is his storyline is done by a set team and stuff, and Roman himself has a lot of input into it, and he understands that to continue the story on to where they need to get to, and to be able to get to that Rock Roman match in time, Roman has to take losses, and he has fully accepted that, and he's even on board with taking these losses and stuff. Now, we're going to get that redemption arc again, and it's that whole story of, you need to be put down before you can come back up again. Now, don't forget, he took that loss at WrestleMania 40 where he lost the title. He came back and everything, and and since that time frame, he's teamed up with the person who took his title, which is obviously a thing that annoyed a lot of fans and stuff. Now, that's sort of the face side of him. He's completely different. He will be taking losses and stuff like that, and he will be. It's going to. Without divulging too much, there's going to be a lot of sort of heartbreak on some bits and stuff like that for the fans, and a lot of celebrations, a lot of heartbreak as well. But just expect Roman to, take a lot of losses. Basically, that's the that's the thing. And I do just want to cover something as well, is because obviously we had Mr. Gillis in the chat claiming that TV shows are not started back up again. They haven't. I've literally just read it, and 2 days ago it was literally to a man said that shows such as Jimmy Kimmel Live, NCIS, Ted Lasso have all suspended filming until further notice. That's some pretty big shows that are still, which are still suspended and stuff like that. So TV shows haven't come back, movies haven't come back, or anything like that. Basically, Hollywood is shut down until further notice. That's the thing. So
he also commented and said Chris Featherstone reported that it would be Cody Rhodes and John Cena, that it was locked. Well, I don't believe that. I don't think it's locked. So
like I said, it's completely changed and stuff like that. Well, it's going to be there's a lot of things there, and like I said, Roman's going to be changing. Roman is completely in charge of his story. Well, not completely in charge. He has a lot of say in his storyline, and that. But he understands the needs of the business. He understands obviously how it's going to, and it's a little bit difficult to obviously turn around and say that, but it's that's what it is basically. That's basically what's going on with it all. It's that's happened there. So moving on then. Obviously, unless you've got anything to bring up on that one or anything like that, and I'm just literally checking on the.
I mean, I try to tell everybody in the chat, because we've seen so many changes, Roman is going to have to take some losses because you don't want to just put the title right back on him. Like if they did that, then the whole finish the story thing would have made no sense. But I think everybody should at least brace ourselves for any type of change, because at this time we really don't know. Triple H is paying really close attention to social media, and we've already seen a lot of changes. Like Becky was supposed to show up, and after Rhea won, she didn't. So like you just don't never know what's gonna happen up to Mania.
So that's obviously that one there. So I mean that's that, and I've just actually seen in the comments as well as DK and I said there's literally a new fire today, so this is sadly not over. So that literally proves it there. Hollywood is not going to be back open for ages. So shows are going to be delayed, movies are going to be delayed, everything. I mean, if he's filming in Hawaii, then good on him, but reshoots take a week. They don't take any longer than a week, basically, because all they need to do is literally come on through, put on the suit again that he had on to film Moana with, and they'll do a reshoot in a week. That's it. So, fine. If there is any reshoots and it's in Hawaii or whatever, it's it will take a week maximum for it. So he's working WrestleMania. I do have to say that. Moving on, there's actually been a couple of questions about this, so I did say that I would cover this a little bit. Alexa Bliss plans, because there's obviously been things come down with basically that apparently she was meant to be joining up with the Wyatt Six. She now, all creative plans and stuff have been stopped and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to clarify one thing. She was never coming back to be part of the Wyatts. And that, that stint is over. I think I said this on last week's show, or maybe the show before that. She was never coming back to be part of the Wyatts. There was never any plans for that to happen. She's the last thing that I heard, which was literally a couple of weeks ago, is the plan is for her to come back as the goddess. And I know people are going to try and say, oh, but she's meant to become, she would make perfect fitting with the, with the Wyatts and stuff like that. But this is the thing, and Boseman has said this himself, along with another couple of other people as well. I believe even the the writer in that who's in charge of them is there is technically 6 members there, because there's 5 obviously physical members, and then the 5th member is a lantern, which I know some people might say, oh, but it doesn't make sense or whatever. But the 6th, that lantern is meant to represent the spirit of Bray. And they've obviously said they're never going to replace the spirit of Bray. Now, if you notice, the only previous member that's joined back up is Eric Rowan, because they had all the opportunity to bring Braun Strowman and everyone like that back into it, but they decided not to, because they simply don't want to do it. They don't want to be reminded of that stuff. It's that this is, it's for some of them it's still painful, and stuff. And obviously Braun's still close to the family and stuff, and and Alexa and that is as well. So she was never coming in as part of the Wyatts. That's the thing. So anyone who was saying that is talking complete and utter rubbish. I've asked on plans and stuff like that. From the last thing I heard is she was still due back in. The plans have not been stopped or anything like that. Now, this was a couple of days ago. I mean, they might have changed it around, but a couple of days ago, she was still due back into WWE very, very soon. I'm thinking potentially the Royal Rumble. She's going to be back in. That's going to be that one there really for it.
I read something on a different article saying that it had something to do with a contract issue that she had pre-pregnancy, and I think the White Six thing was kind of a smoke screen, kind of like what they're doing with The Rock. Because she wants to deal with she's dealing with the break. She's really close with them, so she's not. There's no way that was going to happen, but it could be some sort of a contract. Like they're still trying to figure out the contract. But I still think it's ultimately probably a smoke screen because they basically already revealed that Charlotte is coming, are going to be at the Rumble or come after Tiffany or whatever. Because they should have been yet right before a match. So maybe they don't want everybody just revealed when they're coming back. But I think I would be really shocked if she's not at the Rumble.
Yeah. I mean, I can see her coming back then. I mean, I'm not privy to the contract information for her. I mean, if there is obviously a contract issue, then it's a contract issue. But if from my understanding, the way the contracts work is if you're on a contract before you go off on maternity leave, they will add that time onto your contract. So she, from my understanding, again, don't hold me to this because this is just obviously from what my understanding is of the contracts is if she say had a year off or 2 years off or whatever because she went on pregnancy leave, they will add that onto her contract, onto her existing contract or whatever. It's the same as injuries. If you're injured, that time gets added onto your contract at the end. The only way which you can obviously that they don't do it is if the company decides not to. Now, she, from my understanding, she will be back, for that one. So, so that's that one there. Now, just a quick run through then of things that we need to go through then. So this weekend coming up, we have Saturday night main event. There's 4 matches and a segment for it. So we might as well start off. So we have talking about Saturday night main event. Jesse Ventura has confirmed his status for Saturday night main event, saying that he will be there. This is already known because he is contracted to work every single one of them, which I do believe is 5 a year for that one that we are getting. So Jesse Ventura again, yes, will be there. And from my understanding, still Hulk Hogan's meant to be there. So this could be quite it's going to be quite fun, especially if they're in the same room together. So yes, we've got that. So we've got a contract signing for the ladder match for the Undisputed WWE Championship and the Wind Eagle WWE Championship. That's going to be moderated by Shawn Michaels. Obviously, that is because it is going to be in Texas, where, it's a local person there. Do you think anything's going to go down in that one, or is it just going to be like a normal, typical WWE contract signing where one of them goes for a table, or what really?
I heard, or I was watching a show last night that there's some sort of stipulation that's supposed to be added to this match. There wasn't really a accurate assumption of what that may be. I think it possibly could have something to do with the Winged Eagle title. Maybe it's
no idea.
One of them has to leave SmackDown type of thing. I'm not real sure, but I think HBK eats a pile driver.
Probably, yeah, maybe. But he's going to get physical again. I can see that one. So we'll quickly, obviously, run through these matches, do some predictions and stuff like that. And if anyone wants to in the comments get involved, we'll do that. But I've got Q&A to fit in as well, so we've got to be quick with these ones. So we have Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the Women's World Championship. I can't see any title changes at this event, so I am going to say Rhea Ripley is going to safely retain there. Can you see anything sort of going down in that one? Can you see any title change there or whatever really? Or
no, I think Nia's just going back and forth because right now they just don't have a credible heel for Rhea. It's a refurbished match. It's already happened. Rhea, there's no chance Rhea loses.
No, obviously not. No. We've then got Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu in a singles match. Now, I'm torn with this one because obviously this is sort of Jacob's first solo match, but again, they've just brought Braun back and they're building him up to basically be unstoppable. So, which one do they take the loss here is the question, because if Braun takes the loss, then he's going to look sort of a little bit weak, obviously, after they brought him back and sort of done it that way. But then if Jacob also takes a loss, it's sort of the same situation there. So, I mean, I'm stuck on this one. I am going to say, however, though, I'm going to go Braun Strowman. I'm going to go quite controversial here, and I reckon Braun Strowman's going to go it, and it'll continue on with another storyline afterwards. I don't know who you've got. What do you think on that one? Really, Braun or Jacob?
I don't think that if there is a definitive winner, I'm gonna go with Jacob. But I think that it's gonna be more matches, maybe a trilogy. So I think Tama Tonga gets involved. It's a DQ. Neither one of them have to eat a pin.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it could potentially be that. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. Again, I'm going to have Braun Breaker retaining. One of the main reasons is I know a lot of people have something said, but Sheamus needs that IC title for the full lot. But Sheamus has just signed a new 5-year deal with the company, so I mean they've got 5 years now to fit that in. Do that way. So I've got Braun Breaker retaining there. There's going to be no title change. Do you kind of agree, or do you want to see Sheamus win it, or what? Really?
I mean, I want to see him get the Grand Slam, but I don't think it happens at a Saturday night's main event. I think that Sheamus ultimately gets Intercontinental Championship winning, maybe in a triple threat at WrestleMania. But no, I don't. Braun's going to retain, but I do think Sheamus eventually gets a title from him at Mania.
Yeah. And then we have Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Again, I'm going to say no title changes, so I'm going to go Gunther for that one. Main reason behind it as well is obviously they need to get that title off of Gunther, basically. And it's not going to be Jey who does that, unfortunately. It's going to be CM Punk for it. So, they need to sort of do it that way. Really, that's going to be the way we just see it. I mean, it's going to be upsetting that Jey doesn't do it again, but this is the thing is, I can see this from earlier on is, well, I mentioned this actually earlier on as well, is if they say put it on Jey, he's going to drop it again very soon. So he'll again only possibly have a month's run with it, which is going to upset people even more than if Jey doesn't win. So this is the thing is he's not going to have a long run with that title, so it's going to be pointless putting it back on him again. I know that might annoy a lot of people, but yeah, So,
Monday on my space, I picked Jey, but I've been thinking about it all week, and I think I agree with what you said on the latter end. I think that Gunther's going to win, but people need to pay attention to what will happen at the end, because I think that Bill Goldberg only lives 40 minutes from there. And I think Goldberg shows up afterwards and spears Gunther at the end of the match.
Well, obviously, this is the other thing as well, is Goldberg at the moment is, well, obviously there was that rumor that he's coming around, or that he's meant to be on Raw on the 27th. Now, obviously that happens after Saturday Night Main Event. So, could he then set up Gunther? Could he set up the thing afterwards, set up by spearing Gunther and then challenging Gunther officially on that Monday night afterwards for WrestleMania? That's the thing there. So, that's where it's going to be. If anything, if Goldberg is going to get involved, I can see him potentially showing up on Saturday, like what you said, and then challenging Gunther on Monday. That's obviously if they're going to do that one. So that's that. So I did promise that I would get some questions done. Is there anything else that you think we need to cover before I go on to this, or anything like that, really? Or
no, I don't. Not for this one. I don't see any title changes. I think it's all just going to be like last time, but I do think Goldberg definitely shows up and does something with Gunther.
Yeah, like I said, Jey, he lives like half hour, 40 minutes away, so he's got to show up basically. So this is some questions then that was all right. No, I will go into it quickly then. So I've just seen a question on here. So is the door closing on a possible world title reign for Jey Uso? It seems like he's stuck despite his status as a top babyface star. I hate to say this, but yes. From what I was told as part of the original Bloodline storyline, is the next title that Jey will hold will be tag team gold with his brother again. That the Usos are going to have one last tag team run together, and that as champions. So I don't know when they're going to take the titles off, but I know that they are planning to do the Usos versus Guerrillas of Destiny once Tonga is back. Now, I know they are trying to rush to get Tonga Loa back for WrestleMania itself. So this could also be one of the other reasons as well why they're doing it that way is, you know, setting up potentially the tag match there for it. I mean, obviously they'll have to take from there basically. You know, the bloodline in that at the moment, they are all going to basically be on Raw because Roman's now a Raw superstar. For the moment, he won't be doing SmackDown, he's only doing Raw. This is like what I was saying earlier on, where the new bloodline name is now going. Solo and a couple of others will be joining back up with Roman Reigns as part of the plans on Raw. So that'll be very, very soon. You know, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so Monty, I keep saying until Roman wins the World Heavyweight Championship, Jay won't win it. True. The first person to hold singles gold again in the bloodline will be Roman Reigns. That'll be the next one there, basically. So let's just quickly go through some of these ones here then. So hang on, I've got to try and find the questions again. So here it is. Any updates on Alexa Bliss plans? I've already covered that one, so that's there. What's going on with Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton? That will be once Cody turns heel, because they want to do a heel Cody versus a face Randy Orton. Is John Cena on the European house shows? That's difficult to say because John's doing selected dates. The ones possibly leading into WrestleMania, yes, but I have no confirmation of what dates he's actually doing because it's weird. He was meant to be doing the first couple of Raws from when Netflix was on, but of course he hasn't been seen now for weeks. He basically did that first Raw on Netflix and he seems to have disappeared again. I know we can't see him or anything like that, but he seems to have disappeared. Any information on Travis Scott? Nope. Are there any news on women's Royal Rumble surprises? Royal Rumble returns, like any surprise entrants? That's obviously going to be Charlotte and Becky, and possibly a couple of others as well. You're going to have like a lot of NXT people come up, like Roxanne, maybe Julia's in the Rumble as well, names like that for it. And obviously you're going to have the likes of like Jordan Grace and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's this next one? As of right now, oh no, I don't know. Don't worry about that. Is the Royal Rumble going to be a return/surprise Rumble like 2018 to 2022? It's not going to be that many. Like I said, a lot of them is going to be NXT and that, and a lot of them are going to basically be confirming after Saturday Night Main Event. So don't be expecting too many surprises. There's probably going to be a few, but it's not going to be that many. Is it true Alexa Bliss plan's been scrapped? I've already answered that one. What happened with Roman Reigns after WrestleMania 41 if he loses Drew McIntyre up until Rock versus Roman? He's not facing Drew McIntyre at this moment in time at WrestleMania, from my understanding. If he does, then they'll just build him up. He'll win back. He'll win the World Heavyweight Championship and that at SummerSlam, like what the plan was originally. And they'll just build him back up. This is the thing, like I said earlier on, is he needs to take losses and that to be built back up. So that's that one there. What else is on here now? Anything on Roxanne Perez? Main roster, SmackDown at this moment in time. However, they could have changed that now to Raw because of Bayley, because of that feud. Conan stated there are many stars in AEW who want to leave and join WWE. Do you know anything regarding this? If so, do you have any names? No names, but it's probably going to be the list of normal suspects, which is Miro, which is obviously he's been wanting out for ages, or Rusev as he's known. Obviously Ricky Starks we know of.
Aleister Black.
So Black's Aleister Black's obviously already gone. There's going to be quite a few, basically. There's a few, but no, unfortunately, I don't actually have any names. Hang on, there's no one here. When is Tonga Loa set to return? There's no set date at the moment, but they are rushing him back for WrestleMania to potentially set up that tag match there. Before we go off then and do the end of the bits, I will just quickly check the comments to see if there's any questions on there, but I will just say this will be the last lot of comments that I will be answering. So, from Bobby Cushington, how come? Sorry if I pronounce names wrong as well. Bobby Cushington, how come they don't make Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga a team like they did before Jacob got injured? Because they have singles plans for Jacob Fatu. That is why. So when Tonga Loa comes back, they'll be the tag team. They are the tag team, which is obviously the Gorillas of Destiny. Yes, so that's that one there. How are Lola Vice and Jada Parker looking for 2K20 for 2025? HBK definitely put a lot of work in for their feud, whilst Fallon Henley really hasn't done much with the belt. I can't really answer that one. I don't really have any NXT sources. My ones are mainly main roster, so I would say they're probably going to look for a good year for them too, going forward for that one. TJ, our Lash Legend, and Jakira Jackson going to win the women's tag team titles. No, from my understanding, I can't see it happening because they've still got to build up this Jade storyline. And I know from what WrestleVotes was saying as well, and from what I was saying is they have plans to. There's something that's going to go down, which is going to involve Naomi and Bianca to drop the titles, but neither of them will take a loss. So whether that means they're going to break up and they're going to relinquish or whatever, basically. You know, there's I don't know what they're going to do. I haven't been privy to those plans, but from what I understand is they have, from the way that I read it and from the way we're trying to understand it, is there's a plan in place for them to drop the titles without them taking a loss. That's the thing there.
Maybe triple threat?
Possibly. If not, then they could, like I said, if they split, they could literally do like what they've done on NXT, and they could literally just throw the titles in the bin or relinquish it or something like that. You know, they could go back and do quite a funny thing, and they could literally just have Naomi and Bianca place the title belts on Triple H's desk backstage and then threaten to walk out, you know, and go back to the whole Sasha Naomi thing if they really wanted to do that one. But you know, they could do that one, but yeah, it's but yeah, that's that one there. Yeah, it's hang on. Listen to the YouTube live show now. Zero, are you going to the UK shows this year? No, at the moment, unfortunately. Most of them I'm not going to be available for, so no, really. So that's the end of the thing. We do need to go and end the show now then. So so thank you again for tuning in this week. Sorry, it's obviously been a slightly different show and it may have felt rushed, but you know, we do have quite strict time constraints for this one because I do believe there's another show going on tonight. I'm not sure if it's been moved or whether it's still going on. I will try and find out. Oh, it's not going on, is it?
No, it's scrapped right now.
Oh, it's scrapped at the moment. Okay, so there isn't one, but we still will stick to the hour. Thank you again for tuning in. I will just say this project that I've been working on, expect something extremely soon. We've sort of finalized a few bits and pieces today, and something that will be coming down very, very soon, and it's going to be very, very exciting, hopefully, for a lot of wrestling fans and a lot of other people. So just watch this space and watch out for the announcements very soon for this one. So as per normal, like and subscribe to this channel and this show if you want it. I can obviously see in the comments Mojo has done, when I said Zero has 555 subscribers on here. Let's try and see whether we can boost those numbers up. And I was even considering as well going to say that if we can get to the 1,000 mark by, hang on, I'm going to try and set a realistic expectation here now. The show after the Royal Rumble, so the Thursday after the Royal Rumble, if we can get 1,000 subscribers on this channel by then, I'll host a giveaway. Basically, you know, I will host a live giveaway on here, or you know, we can do a little competition thing there. But that's if we get 1,000 subscribers to this channel by the Thursday after Royal Rumble. So that gives you what, 2 weeks? Is that 2 or 3 weeks maximum? And as Mojo Tavella said, Caesar Tonga opening up an OnlyFans. No, I won't be opening up an OnlyFans, but yeah, no, so that's that one there. So yeah, so thank you for tuning in once again. This is Xero signing out for this week, and I'm going to pass you over to the to my co-host CJP to end the showdown this week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Like Xero said, like and subscribe, hit that bell. Try to get us in that algorithm. We've been doing really good, over 100 plus views. I think this is episode 4, not 5. Obviously, you can see me tomorrow on Main Event Fridays. Also Monday, have a pretty big show planned. Main Event Mondays. Can't really give a whole lot of information, but I will tell you this. There is something big planned for myself on January 30th on Friday. I will be defending my IWC Promo Battle Championship in a big, huge grudge match. Can't give much more details than that. You guys have to tune in tomorrow to find out that. But thank all you guys for that. Look forward to episode 5 next week.
Yep, and we will see you next week then. This is Xero signing out for the week. Goodbye.